This is the Math 7 and Math 7 Plus video for dividing fractions. You need your composition. So first we're going to learn a term for this video. It's a reciprocal. A reciprocal, when dealing with fractions, is the multiplicative inverse of the original fraction. That means when you multiply a fraction and its reciprocal, you would end up with 1. So let's look at an example. We have 4/7, and its reciprocal would be 7/4. So when we divide fractions, we want to keep, change, reciprocal, which means that we keep the first fraction. We're going to change the division sign to multiplication, and we're going to use the reciprocal. So if we have this example, 4/5 divided by 1/3, we'd actually have 4/5. Division would become multiplication, and our reciprocal for 1/3 is 3/1. Alright, now let's try on an example. We have 7/8 being divided by 2/3. So we keep our first fraction, change division to multiplication, and take the reciprocal of 2/3, which is 3/2. So now we're going to multiply. We have top times top over bottom times bottom. So 7 times 3 is 21 over 8 times 2, which is 16. And we're not done yet because 21/16 we can reduce. So we know that 16 goes into 21 one time with a remainder of 5. And 5/16 cannot reduce any further because 5 is not a factor of 16 and it's a prime number, so we have nothing to reduce further. So our final answer then is 1 5/16. Alright, so our next example is 4 1/2 divided by 2 1/6. And as always, when we have mixed numbers, we need to change them to an improper fraction. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So 4 1/2 is 9/2, being divided by 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13/6. So this is what our fractions being divided by would look like once you have them in the improper form. Now we can go ahead and divide. So we have 9/2 multiplied by 6/13 because that's the reciprocal. So we have 9 multiplied by 6, 2 multiplied by 13. Alright, so we have 54/26. So we know that 26 can go into 54 two times, which is 52. So we have a remainder of 2/26. And we can reduce this further. We can factor out a 2 from the 2 and the 26. So then our final answer is 2 1/13. So our last example is -14/17 divided by 1/2. So we keep -14/17, change division to multiplication, and the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2/1. Okay, so now we have -14 multiplied by 2 over 17 multiplied by 1. 14 times 2 is 28, but this is going to be a -28 since we have a negative times a positive, divided by 17. 17 goes into 28 one time with a remainder of 11. So our final answer is 1 11/17. Video question 1 is solve 6/7 divided by 5/9. We have A 19/35, B 30/63, C 1 19/35, or D 54/35. Video question 2. Divide 1/2 by 3/8. A 1/3, B 1 1/3, C 3/16, or D 8/6.